Hey y'all, today we're making yogurt ice cream sandwiches. Okay, so I am going to use strawberries, obviously, in my ice cream sandwiches. You can use whatever fruit you want to use, or you can leave the fruit out altogether if you don't have any, or you don't want to use it, or whatever the case is, if you just don't want to fool with chopping up fruit. It's all up to you. It's your ice cream. So I'm going to dice these into really small pieces. These are the tiniest strawberries I've ever seen, I swear, but whatever. It's neither here nor there. They're strawberries. We're using them. So dice them up into really small pieces, because if you know anything about frozen fruit, if you just freeze a big piece of frozen fruit, it's just like a huge block of ice, and we don't really want that in these little ice cream sandwiches. So just dice them up as small as you can get them, and then that's what we're going to use. Now, I would say if you're going to use blueberries, I wouldn't would those up necessarily, but I would try to get the wild blueberries that are much smaller, because like I said, these sandwiches are not very big, and you don't want really big pieces of fruit. So once you get your strawberries or whatever fruit you're using all chopped up, put them over to the side, and if I didn't say it, make sure you wash your fruit good and dry it. So now we're going to get the ice cream portion of our sandwich put together, okay? So I am using a regular Cool Whip. I'm going to use 2 cups of this. It's about half the container. I measured it out, but it does end up being roughly half of this container of Cool Whip. But do it however you want to. And this is actually like a double batch. Normally you would do like an 8x8 pan, but I'm doing like a 9x13 cookie sheet. So it's going to be double, but you can certainly just half what I'm using, and then you'll have just a smaller portion, you know. Or if you're feeding a whole bunch of people, you could add more. So now we're going to add in our yogurt. I'm using this strawberry cheesecake Greek yogurt, the Dan and Lighten Fit. Use whatever you want. I just liked the flavor of this one, and it does call for a Greek yogurt, so I thought this sounded good. And like I said, I had those strawberries, so I thought strawberry cheesecake, this is going to be perfect. So this is what we're going to use. You need 2 cups of the Cool Whip and 1 cup of the Greek yogurt. Now I measured this out because, you know, different Greek yogurt containers, different sizes, whatever. I mean, I guess I could have read the container, but you know, that would have been way too easy. So 2 containers of this particular yogurt, but if you're measuring out, if you're not sure, then measure out 1 cup, okay? 1 cup of yogurt, 2 cups of Cool Whip. So I made, last year or the year before, I made some cottage cheese ice cream, and it was really good, y'all. So if you're looking for some healthier alternatives for ice cream, this one and the cottage cheese ice cream are fantastic things for you to try. I'll link that video for y'all in case you want to look at that one. So once you get your Cool Whip and your yogurt all mixed up, you're going to add in your fruit if you're using fruit, and you're just going to kind of fold that in. You're not going to be able to mess it up. I'm just trying to get my strawberries pretty well distributed throughout the creamy part of this, and that way, you know, you get a little bite of strawberry when you're eating your little ice cream sandwich. So for the putting together part, I'm using this cookie sheet. Now, if you use parchment paper, see, if you put it down that way, it rolls up. If you put it this way, it rolls up. But if you ball it up in a ball and then unfold it, and I think I've showed y'all this before, but unfold it, it will lay right down flat, and it will not give you any trouble by popping up, rolling up, and flipping out of the pan. Okay, so there's your tip of the day. So now you're going to need some graham crackers. I would advise you to buy a whole box of graham crackers if you don't have a whole box, because I broke several when I was trying to do this. Now I started putting them face up and then realized that I wanted them to be pretty on both sides once they were made, so I went ahead and flipped them over. But the reason I'm breaking mine into squares is because y'all know, most of y'all, if you've been watching me, you know I've got grandkids and they're young, and I wanted this to be portioned out for them where I wouldn't have to be like, well, let me split one in half or whatever. They can just go in the freezer, grab one of these, and they're good to go. So break all your little graham crackers, line them up. You want these to be lined up pretty dang even, because we're going to have to cut them once they're frozen, and you want them to cut on the lines that you've broken, because if you cut and you catch the edge of a graham cracker, you're going to break all your graham crackers. Does that make sense? You'll see in a second when I cut them. But so you're going to gently put all of your Cool Whip and yogurt mixture, your ice cream mixture, if you will. You're going to just carefully spoon that on top of your graham crackers. And then we're going to do the best that we can to get this all spread out. Now, they're going to come apart as I'm spreading it. There's no way to avoid that, but just go slow, do the best you can, okay, to try to keep these kind of even. And you want your ice cream layer, the ice cream part, to be pretty even as well throughout your graham crackers, so that they're all pretty much the same thickness. You know what I mean? So try to get all the way to the edges, because who wants an ice cream sandwich that doesn't have any ice cream all the way to the edge, you know? So do the best you can. Then I'm just going to kind of push them back together here, get my graham crackers all back together and lined up, because now we got to put the top on. And again, I want to be able to cut these once they're frozen. So I'm trying to get them as even as I possibly can. They're not going to be perfect, y'all. But like I said, just do the best you can. And yes, I broke a few here and there. That's why I said use the whole box. If you're making a pan this size, make sure you have the availability of a whole box. Because if you're like me, you're going to break a few of these along the way. So just get them, like I said, you're going to just put these all over the top till you get them all covered up. And then we're just going to, I looked, made sure they were, pretty even. And then we're going to put these in the freezer, and you're just going to let these freeze until they're frozen solid, however long that takes. Now, for purposes of the video, I just let mine freeze for an hour or so, and then I needed to get them out and cut them so I could show y'all. So that's why you see mine bend in the middle right there. But once they're frozen solid, they're not going to bend like that, okay? They're going to be solidly frozen. Once you pull them out, get you a big knife, and then you're just going to cut your sandwiches, okay? You're just going to cut them right on those lines where we lined them up real good, and cut them into your squares. Now, once mine were completely frozen, I put them all over into a Ziploc bag, a freezer bag, and they're right there in your freezer bag whenever you get ready to eat them. Look how cute these are, y'all, and they're super delicious. But I will tell you this, once they have become solidly frozen, when you get ready to eat them, pull them out, let them sit on your counter for about 5 minutes, because they're going to be solid, but they'll thaw out just enough to make it like an ice cream sandwich, and those crackers get soft just like a real ice cream sandwich. They're so good, y'all. So I hope you try them. All right, that's all I've got for y'all today. I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.